Hi, I'm going to be giving a quick tutorial here on how to use ffmpeg on a Mac to concatenate multiple video files that are the same format and encoding. I'll be working with .mov files with H.264 encoding, but this should work with other video formats and encoders as well. The first thing you'll need to do is install ffmpeg. The easiest way to do that is to install something called Homebrew and then use brew to install ffmpeg. Note that all the work we'll be doing here will be in the terminal, which you can find by going to your applications folder or just by typing terminal into your Spotlight search. It should show up. The first step is to install brew. This is super easy. Just navigate your browser to brew.sh. You'll see on the home page a line of code that you can copy and paste into terminal. Do that. Hit enter and brew will install. The second step is to install ffmpeg. This is also super easy. Just type brew install ffmpeg into terminal and hit enter. It will install ffmpeg in the default installation format, which is all we need for what we're doing. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is actually use ffmpeg to combine a few files. So I'm going to open terminal here. You can also find terminal up here in the Spotlight search. You can just type in terminal, I'll open it up for you. Okay, so we're here in the terminal window. Make this a little bit bigger. And you see here that it's in my home directory. So one useful command to know in terminal is change directory. So you just type cd, and then you can move around your folders on your computer. Terminal just refers to folders as directories. So for instance, say we want to go to the downloads folder, you can type tilde / and then downloads. Just hit enter. You'll see now where it did say Nick here before, it now says downloads. So now we're in the downloads folder. Okay, so let's say you want to navigate to a specific folder. So for instance, I have this folder on my desktop here called ffmpeg. So what I'm going to do is navigate to the desktop. Whoops, sorry, I should type cd first. Change directory, cd space, and then tilde / desktop / ffmpeg, and now I'm in the ffmpeg folder. Okay, so one additional command that's useful to know here is ls, which will list all the files in that folder. So just type ls and then return. And I have 3 different move files, and I have a text file there in that folder. Okay, so let's go back to, let's say, the desktop. Now we're in the desktop, and let's say I want to change directories. I want to move to a specific folder, but I'm not sure exactly what the file path extension is. I don't know what the full path is. I'm not really sure how to find that. Say, on a Mac, this is really easy, so you just type cd, and then you can drag the folder into the terminal window, and it will just produce the path for you. Okay, so users nick desktop ffmpeg. Hit enter. This can be really useful if you're working, say, from an external hard drive. So I'll just show you an example of how to do that, since that's quite common. So we'll type CD, and then here I have an external hard drive that has all the data for my current project. I'll go in here to some particular folder. Let's say I want to work on the files in this folder here. I just drag the folder over here, and it provides the full path. Because there are spaces and other things in the name, the path is a little complicated, so it's much easier to just drag the folder over, hit enter. Now we're in this Garudu recordings folder. But I want to go back to ffmpeg folder, so I'll just type CD and drag my ffmpeg folder back here. Okay. So I'm in the ffmpeg folder, so now I'll just open it over here so you can see more easily what's inside. So to actually combine these three files, so I have three MOV files. These were produced by they were created with a Zoom Q8 video camera, which has some kind of maximum file size, and so it records in chunks. With the settings that these were recorded on, the chunks are 18 minutes long. So you'll see that 18 minutes, 45 seconds. The second one is also 18 minutes and 45 seconds. And the third one is 18 minutes and 45 seconds. But they are separate recordings. So we want to recombine them since they are all clearly from the same session. So the way to do this is you create a text file. So you'll open up text edit, and you'll create a text file that looks like this. So it says file, and then it has a single quote, and then it has your file name, and then another single quote. And you want to list each file name in the order you'd like to combine them in a separate line, just like this. So I like to make the font bigger so it's easier to see, so let's do that. One thing to be aware of is this must be a .txt file. So an easy way to do that on a Mac is to go to Format and then make plain text. It says make rich text here because it already is plain text. So we'll just make rich text, and you'll see now it looks more like a standard word processor, but I want to make sure it's plain text, so I'll change it back to plain text. Okay, so now we're in plain text. One additional thing to note here is that sometimes these single quotes can become curved apostrophes. So if I type one like this, it automatically changes. You can turn off that setting by right-clicking and going to Substitutions and then Smart Quotes and just unselect Smart Quotes. And that should fix that problem. If you don't change that and you do have those apostrophe single quotes, ffmpeg will have a problem reading your files or finding your files. Okay, so these are not the right file names because this is a file used to combine some other videos, so let's change those. So here's the file name. I'm just going to copy from here to make it easy, and then paste it in here. So, and all of these videos have the same basic file name with just a different number at the end here, indicating which chunk they are. So this was the first chunk, here's the second, and the third. So I'm just going to copy this first line and replace these other lines so all of them are the same, and just change these. And now I have my three file names in here in my text file. So I'll save that and just close text file. So now I have these three video files in my text file. That's all I need in there. You can have other files in the same folder, that's not a problem. Okay, let's go back to terminal. So now all we have to do is we have to type in a line of code that tells ffmpeg what to do. So I've saved that line of code up here for myself in a little note. I would suggest doing the same, write it down somewhere, or save it in a file like this for easy reference. So this first bit you can ignore, so this is just what it will automatically come up as over here. The first ffmpeg, that's just the name of my folder. It could be anything. It could be desktop. whatever folder you're working in. So we're in terminal here. We are in my folder on my desktop called ffmpeg. Again, the folder can be called anything. I've just called it ffmpeg. What you're going to do now is type in this line of code that tells the program ffmpeg what to do with the videos in your folder. So the line of code that you need to know for this concatenating is ffmpeg -f concat for concatenate. So this concatenates the files. It does not re-encode them. It just copies them together. And then -safe 0 -i. So -i indicates that you're going to provide some input for ffmpeg. And the way this will work is ffmpeg will read the names of the files off of the text file that you created. So here I'm putting mylist.txt, but you can write whatever is the name of the text file that you put in your folder. For us here it's mylist.txt. I just recommend some simple file name like that. You can discard this text file later after you've concatenated the videos. And then -c copy. This ensures that you are not re-encoding the videos, you're just concatenating them. And then the final thing is you'll type here whatever file name you want the output to be in. So I'm just going to call it output.mov for now. You could give it whatever file name you want for the resulting file immediately, or you could just write output and then rename the file later. That's what I'm going to do now. And that's it. And now we just hit enter. And ffmpeg starts doing the work, combining these 3 video files into one. It takes a little bit of time, but it's much faster than combining files in another media editor program like Final Cut Pro or Movie Maker or anything like that, because those programs will re-encode the resulting concatenated video when they export it. So this is much quicker. And that's it. And it's done. And you see over here in the folder, the output file is placed there in the same folder we were working in. If we open this up, so that's going to be the very beginning, right? And then the very end should look like this. Like that at the very end, they're going to the paper. So let's look at our file and see what happened. So it should be about 56 minutes long. That's right. So 3 times 18, 45. They're drawing, and if we look at the very beginning. Yep, that's just right. So it looks like it worked, and that's it.